Hello students, starting with the explanation of chapter 2, Systematics of Living Organisms, part 1. R.H. Whitaker in 1969 proposed five kingdom system of classification. The system shows phylogenetic relationship between the organisms. The five kingdoms are: first, kingdom Monera, kingdom Protista, kingdom Plantae, kingdom Fungi, and kingdom Animalia. We will study the salient features of five kingdoms one by one. So starting with the kingdom Monera. Kingdom Monera includes unicellular prokaryotic organisms. Simply, all bacteria they classified under the kingdom Monera. Habitat. The bacteria or members of kingdom Monera, they are omnipresent, that means found in all types of environment, which are not generally inhabited by other living beings also. The nutrition, they may be the photoautotrophic or chemoautotrophic, but majority of them are heterotrophic in nature. Nucleus. The nucleus is prokaryotic, that means not well defined. DNA is exist but as a simple double-stranded circular single chromosome which is called as nucleoid. Smaller circular molecules of DNA which are the extra chromosomal genetic elements, they are called as plasmids. They are also present in the bacterial cells. Cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, also called murein, which is a polymer of sugars and amino acids. This is the component of cell wall of bacteria. The membrane-bound cell organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, they are absent. Ribosomes are present, which are 70 As in number, smaller than the size of eukaryotic ribosome. You know that the eukaryotic ribosome is 80 As. The mode of reproduction, asexual, mainly by the binary fission or by budding. Rarely sexual reproduction can be seen and is by conjugation. Morphologically, bacteria are categorized into four groups. On the basis of their shapes, the four different types of bacterial cells are present. So in the diagram you can see the spherical bacteria, they are commonly called as cocci. The rod-like bacteria, they are called as bacilli. The spiral or spring shape, they are called as helically coiled bacteria, they are called as the spirilla. Then one more group is present, the comma shape, they are called as vibrio bacteria. On the basis of evolution, bacteria can be classified into two groups, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. So first, Archaebacteria. So they are also called as extremophiles because they are present or found in variety of places, that is from volcanic craters to salty lakes, also in the hot springs, which are also called as halophiles, thermophiles and methanogens. Halophiles, that means they are present in the saline water or marine water. Thermophiles, that means they are present in the hot water springs. Methanogens, that means they are generally present in the gut of ruminant organisms or animals like cows and buffaloes, and they help in the production of methane, which is important component of biogas plant. Second group of bacteria are called as eubacteria. They are also called as true bacteria. The cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. The examples of eubacteria, the autotrophs, which are the photosynthetic ones like chlorobium, they are commonly called as green sulfur bacteria, and chromaceum or chemosynthetic bacteria like sulfur bacteria, and some are the heterotrophs also. Then you can find the cyanobacteria. They are commonly called as blue-green algae. They are also one of the member of eubacteria. So they are photosynthetic bacteria. They contains the chlorophyll pigments and they go for photosynthesis. Cyanobacteria, the well-known example of cyanobacteria is Nostoc and Anabina. So here you can see the diagram of cyanobacteria, Anabina. Then you can see the thicker cells which are labeled as a HET. It's called as heterocyst. Heterocyst, these are the sites of nitrogen fixation in cyanobacteria. Then bacteria, they are multicellular also. Prokaryotic one, filamentous forms. They may live in the fresh water. The body is covered by mucilaginous sheath and they contains the photosynthetic pigments like chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotenes and xanthophylls. As I told you just now, filaments show the presence of heterocyst which help in the nitrogen fixation. Some heterotrophs, they are also present which acts as a decomposers. Some are the anaerobes also. Some bacteria help in the curdling of milk, for example lactobacilla. Some they help in the fixation of atmospheric nitrogen. The example is Azotobacter. Some they help in the antibiotic production. They are called as Streptomyces bacteria. Some they help in the composting and degrading oil. Some of them are pathogens also. They causes the diseases like typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis and tetanus. The some organisms which are not belongs to any of these five kingdoms, they are called as mycoplasmas. So they are the smallest living forms. They do not have cell wall. Some members are pathogenic also. They are found resistant to common antibiotics due to the absence of cell wall. Such smallest living forms are called as mycoplasma. Starting with the next kingdom, kingdom Protista. So it is the kingdom of unicellular eukaryotic organisms. These organisms show link with all eukaryotic kingdoms like plantae, fungi and animalia. So kingdom Protista is called as connecting link between the plantae, fungi and animalia and in between the kingdom Monera. So the different types are there. In that first type is plant-like protist. So they are the chrysophytes. Commonly they are called as chrysophytes. They are the phytoplanktons and they are microscopic in nature. Photosynthetic producers in oceans. The some types are diatoms also. Diatoms shows body wall made up of two soap-like boxes fitting silica covers. They forms a diatomaceous earth. These are nothing but the left shells behind for so many years of diatoms. Generally, diatomaceous earth is used in the polishing and filtration and is also used as an insulator in the furnaces. See the diagram of diatoms is shown. Diatoms, they are variously shaped and sizes. Some are the spherical one, some are discoid, some are elongated, rod shapes, some are squarish, triangular and so on. Then animal-like protist. They are also called as protozoans. They lack cell wall and they are heterotrophic in nature. Amoeboid protozoans have pseudopodia as locomotory organs. One of the best example of it is amoeba, which is a free-living, but the another form entamoeba is endoparasite and it causes amoebic dysentery in human beings. Flagellated protozoans, they have a flagella as a locomotory organ. For example, trypanosoma is a common flagellated pathogen which causes sleeping sickness. Paramecium, which is the well-known example, it is a ciliated protozoan. Then another one is Plasmodium, which is a sporozoan protozoa. That means it produces the spores, causes malaria. Here you can see the diagram of Paramecium. having cilia on their plasma membrane, which is called as pellicle. Then you can see the presence of micronucleus, macronucleus, oral groove you can see, is also called as vestibulum, buccal cavity you can see, and you can see the contractile vacuole showing radiating canals. Then dinoflagellates. These are mostly the marine ones and they are photosynthetic. The cell wall is made up of cellulosic stiff plates. They possess a pair of flagella. Photosynthetic pigments, they are yellow, green, brown, blue and red in color. The best example of dinoflagellate is goniolox, that is responsible for famous red tide because it makes even the sea appear red. Then the fungi like protists, commonly they called as myxomycetes. They are saprophytic organisms. They grow on dead and decaying organisms, so they are called as saprophytic. Their cells aggregate to form a large cell mass and is called as plasmodium. The name is same like malarial parasite, but the plasmodium is different. Then euglenoids. Now euglenoids they lack the cell wall but have a tough covering of proteinaceous pellicle. They possess two flagella. The one is larger, longer and one is shorter. They behave as a heterotrophs in the absence of light, but they possess a pigments similar to that of higher plants for photosynthesis. That means it shows dual nature of nutrition. When the light is present, they act as a plants or the autotrophs, and when the light is not present, they act as a heterotrophs. Here you can see the diagram of euglena. You can see they are green colored organism. You can see the presence of chloroplast, discoid chloroplast. The eukaryotic nucleus is present at the center, and then you can see the presence of flagella. So they helpful for the locomotion. Kingdom planting. You know that it is the kingdom of autotrophs, semi-autotrophic members. It also includes the insectivorous plants, for example Venus flytrap, pitcher plant, bladderwort. You can see the images of this plant on the Google. Some members they are heterotrophic parasitic, for example Cuscuta. The members of kingdom Plantae they are multicellular, having eukaryotic cell organization and show the presence of chlorophyll. The cell wall is present and it is made up of cellulose. Sometimes pectin is also present along with the cellulose. Plants exhibit alternation of generation, that is, life cycle has two distinct phases. Kingdom Plantae is divided into two major groups. The cryptogamy or cryptogams, that means they have a concealed sex organs, and another category is called as phanerogams or phanerogamy, that means they have the naked sex organs or visible sex organs in the form of flowers. So students, we have studied the kingdom Plantae in detail with their classification. Next is kingdom fungi. So it is the kingdom of eukaryotic heterotrophic organism showing extracellular digestion. They may be found in warm and the humid places. Simple body which may be unicellular or made up of long thread-like structures, which is called as hyphae. Large fungi such as mushrooms have a compact mass of cells. Unicellular organisms have a protoplast with many nuclei and that a cell is called as the cenocytic cells. For example, Rhizopus or Saccharomyces, that is yeast, which is an example of unicellular fungi. The body of fungi is called as mycelium, in which the network of hyphae are present. Now what do you mean by hyphae? Hyphae, this is the, maybe it is with or without septa, with maybe uninucleate or multinucleate. So it is non-septate, multicellular, multinucleate hyphae is called as cenocytic hyphae. The cell wall is composed of chitin or fungal cellulose. Mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, saprophytic, maybe parasitic or predators. Reproduction, asexual by the fragmentation or by fission or by budding. Some fungi, they are symbiotic also. Either they live with algae as a lichens or as a mycorrhiza in association with the roots of higher plants. They are useful as well as harmful organisms. For example, mushrooms, which are useful one, edible one, they are consumed as a food, and yeast is used in the bakery and breweries. Penicillium is one of the known fungus for its antibiotic production. Harmful fungi causes diseases in the plants and animal. For example, Puccinia, which causes the rust disease in the plants. The fungi are further classified on the basis of their structure, mode of spore formation and fruiting bodies as follows. The first category is called as phycomycetes or algal fungi. So in phycomycetes, the mycelium is aseptate and cenocytic hyphae. For example, Mucor, Rhizopus, bread mold, albugo, which is called as parasitic fungus on mustard. So you can see the diagram of Rhizopus. So you can see the sac-like sporangia carrying the spores. They are held by the stalk which are called as sporangiophores, and they producing the hypha, having rhizoids to penetrate in the substratum and to absorb nutrition from the decaying material. Then ascomycetes, which are also called as sac fungi. They are multicellular, rarely unicellular, for example, yeast. Hypha, they are branched and septate. Sac fungi can be decomposers, parasites, or coprophilous, that means grow on dung. Morels and truffles, they are as delicacies. They are edible ones used for consumption. Neurospora is useful in genetic and the biochemical assays. The example of ascomycetes, Aspergillus, Penicillium, Claviceps. Then Neurospora, Saccharomyces. Here the diagram of Aspergillus is shown. You can see the stalk is called as conidiophore and producing the conidia of different sizes. Conidia, these are the spores which help in the vegetative reproduction in Aspergillus. The next category type of fungi is basidiomycetes. They are also called as club fungi. They are branched septate hyphae. For example, agaricus, commonly called as mushrooms. Then Ganoderma, which are called as bracket fungi. Ustilago, they are called as smirts commonly. Puccinia, they are called as rust. Then the another category of the fungi is called as deuteromycetes. They are called as imperfect fungi. They reproduces only a sexual manner. Examples are Alternaria and Coleotrichum. Here you can see the diagram of mushroom. You have seen the mushrooms which are generally available in the markets also, and they can grow everywhere after rainy season. In the below the trees where the shade is there and dead decaying matter is there, there you can see the mushrooms having umbrella like body. So you can see the cap which is called as umbrella. Below you can see the line like compartments called as gills, then stalk which is called as stipe, and then you can see the presence of the rhizoids at base. The last kingdom is kingdom Animalia, which is the group of heterotrophs adapted to Holozoic nutrition. They show locomotion. They are multicellular eukaryotes. The cells lack chlorophyll as well as cell wall. Growth is determinate, that means it always follow definite pattern. Okay, so students, we have finished with the 5 kingdom system of classification. Uh, in the next part, we will study regarding the acellular organisms. Thank you.